Bad guys in jail. Never said this, but don't swallow. Incoming!
So did Gina Carano deserve to get fired? Honestly, let me be realistic and be honest with you. So the last thing we're going to talk about, the last thing she did, but she kept poking the bear. So you know when you keep the saying is keep poking the bear, you will get the claws. Keep poking the bull, you get the horns. So that's what she kept doing. I mean, certain things she said in the past, something she made some reference to the Nazis or some Jews and the Nazi, and that's what got her in trouble. Look, honestly, I'm gonna look at it two ways. I'm gonna look at it the way one, she deserves to get fired for her incompetence and idiocy. And let me explain. Number one is you're working for the mouse, the house of mouse. You can say, you can do certain things, you cannot. Just be realistic, and she knows this. Should you not have your freedom of speech? No, you should, but be smart about it. That's the same thing what happened with Roseanne. Her ass thought she could get away with murder because I can say what I want and I get away with. No, you work for the House of Mouse. You can't say shit. Okay? It's Disney. Disney owns a fucking island. They'll get rid of your ass. You can't say certain things and do certain things. Just be cautious and be careful. If that is your views, those are your views. But just be mindful. Now, that's where I pretty much say that's the bad on her. Now, the bad's on Disney because there's a lot of shit they let slide. Like Paulo, whatever, that fat little son of a gun who got an issue with Star Wars Theory about a month ago, they allowed that to slide. They didn't fire him for what he said and did to the fans. Or let's talk about how what's Christina Ray or whatever her name was. Her comments about the white people, which they were racist. Were they to the racists of the N word? No, but they were racist. And she kept her job, knowing she did wrong, and said, "I'm being harassed." No, bitch, you just got caught. Just own up to what you said, and yeah, that's how I felt, and leave it be. You know, do I believe that certain people get away with murder if it fits the agenda, the narrative, the Democrats Party? Yes. Do I feel that it fits the Republican Party and they'll go, if it fits the Republican Party, they're going to go down on it? Pretty much. I mean, Hollywood is blue, not red. Let's be realistic here. Hollywood has always been blue. In the last several years, it's been mostly blue. And that's not a bad thing, it's just that's how things are. And that's how a lot of us sees it. And the biggest problem right now what's going on with things like sorry, things like that is just that you just gotta be careful. And if you work for the House of Mouse, you work for any company like that, you just be mindful of what you say and what you do. Now, with James Gunn saying the crap he said and got his job back, that's bullshit. And I do agree with that. That's some bullshit. Granted, he was fired and got rehired, but it's still bullshit because you said a president of this pedophile SOB can get his job back, comments or not comments, did it or didn't get his job back, but you can't let Gina Carano get away with what she said. It is what it is. Like I said, but Gina Carano put herself in the spotlight multiple times. Why? Because every time she did like say something, there she go. And again, I'm not saying she can't have a freedom to speak. She has her right to. But be careful. You know who you work for. You work for the House of Mouse. You work for the Disney. You work for the corporate takeover company, the evil empire of destruction, the mouse, the House of Mouse. So you can't say and do things that you would do if you weren't working for the House of Mouse. That's all I'm saying. Be careful when you work for the House of Mouse. But that's her problem. And again, if she really, again, like her career is kind of ruined, but then it's not. I mean, hopefully she can bounce back. She's a beautiful woman. Um, and she kind of deserve a little bit of a little help here and there. I mean, to a certain extent, she kind of do deserve a little bit of you know, a pass on certain things. Not on everything, but on certain things. And I do agree. I think the way they handled the situation was wrong, and I think the House of Mouse deserve to apologize. You heard, to apologize to Miss Gina Carano for the they should apologize to her. But that's just my opinion on the matter, because it's like you let things slide for one thing, and then you let things slide for another thing, and you let things slide, and then it's like we can't really let things slide anymore. Then you got the old James Gunn, and it's a mess. Disney kind of created their own PR nightmare. I would have told her, you get suspended. Okay, you're fined. And that's what they need to start doing. And that's what I think. This is for everybody. They need to be fined. You fine them the money, and then they get reprimanded, and they nobody can say, well, they never got reprimanded. That please those Twitter etards, I like to call them etards, and it please everybody else. Granted, would I fine her for what she said? I mean, yeah, you're going to have to do something to please that mass, even though I don't know why. Those motherfuckers are just there to bitch and moan like they usually do. But, again, if you want to please them, fine them. And that's it. But I would find half these people on Twitter anyway for those bad grammars and hashtags this and hashtag that. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean, if you want to talk the game, you better spell the game right, too. That's why I don't be on Twitter that much. Not because I can't do all that stuff, but I'm not for the drama, ladies and gentlemen. But honestly, that's what I think they should start doing, finding people, because if they keep going this route, they just gonna lose. It's just bad. It's a bad PR nightmare right now, and Disney has been and having nothing for the last several months. PR nightmare, and it's under Lucasfilm, and the House of Mouse don't like that. The House of Mouse don't want. But as always, guys, like, subscribe, peace, have a Johnson day. See you guys in the next video.